Now, listen up.
3, 2, 1.
It's showtime.
That's great.
This is ridiculous.
99.3 The Truth.
You can't handle the truth right now.
Ooh.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Let's do it.
Hit it.
It's time for Mac's World. And here we go.
Everybody, let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Call Mac 244-0077 or text 809-0993.
It's showtime, everybody. Showtime.
Exclusively on 99.3 The Truth.
6 minutes after 4 o'clock on the 30th day of June in the Lord's year 2016, last day of June. Tomorrow is the 1st of July, and we've officially entered the third quarter of 2016. Didn't we just do the caucuses? Didn't we just shovel our driveways? Didn't we just put our brand new boots on to go outside and play with the kids? Well, one thing my buddy old J.D. Hatfield used to say, and I'd say to him, well, I ran out of time. I didn't have enough time to get something done. You know what he'd say to me? You have all the time there is. That's it. There's no more time, no less, no more. So I guess these last 6 months just flew by because pigs can fly. All right, my special guest this hour is Shane Vanderhart. He is the editor and CEO of... Aren't you?
CEO. I can give myself any title I want, I guess.
Yeah, because how many employees do you have?
I have an employee of one.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he on payroll?
I'd like to get paid every once in a while.
That's
so.
Nice. Anyway, he writes for Caffeinated Thoughts. They also do a radio program that airs at 8 o'clock on Saturday mornings and 6 o'clock on Saturday afternoons. Mm-hmm. You and that funny-looking guy.
Brian Myers.
Brian Myers. I haven't seen him in a while. Where's he been?
Oh, he's been working, so he says.
So he says.
Yeah.
How much? He lives in Madrid, right?
Yeah, I don't know how much work there is.
How much work can there be in Madrid?
Who knows?
All right.
He owns his own company, man. He travels all over the region.
What does he do?
Art stores.
Oh, okay. All right, and also Frank the Verse is here, and Bob Montserrat, the Cat in the Hat, Chris Roloff, and Jebediah, the producer and the person you'll talk to if you call 244-0077. Or if you want to talk to Robert Montserrat, text or chat with him at 515-809-0993.
Just as we think about time passing quicker and quicker, just a quick reminder, there's only 177 more days until Christmas this year, so it's coming closer.
Why? What? Now, I just had this whole thing going.
I already have my shopping done.
You don't have your shopping done yet? No. Does that make you sad or happy? I think it makes me happy thinking it's coming. I love Christmas.
It's always coming.
I don't even really think about it till fall.
That's it.
That's true. It's coming even the day after.
All right. Help me, Shane, help me understand about this Indiana law that got overturned.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Basically, Indiana passed a law that was signed into law by Governor Mike Pence that it banned abortion sought due to fetal genetic abnormalities such as Down syndrome or because of the race, sex, or ancestry of a unborn baby. Indiana and North Dakota are the only two states to have a law like that on the books. This federal judge, kind of taking marching orders, I think, from the Supreme Court, probably deemed this to be I haven't had a chance to read the ruling, but I'm thinking probably using terminology, it's an undue burden on the mothers. So basically, I mean, abortion, I think we all agree, is slaughter, wholesale slaughter of the unborn.
Yeah.
And children who have been diagnosed in the womb with Down syndrome are even more at risk. I don't have statistics in front of me, but not many of them actually are born. A lot of them are doctors will encourage the parents to consider abortion in cases like that. So,
and this was a move to say that if your child is diagnosed with Down syndrome, as an example, that you cannot perform an abortion for that reason. The move was to try to limit that risk.
Right.
And Indiana, they said, no, that's a completely legitimate reason to kill someone is because they have...
A federal judge decided that, yes.
A federal judge decided that.
Indiana passed a law saying, no, you're not going to do that. You can't, no, you can't, we're going to ban abortions to do that. And the federal judge said, no, it's unconstitutional.
Wow, that's sick and disgusting.
It is.
Yeah, it's sick and disgusting. Mm-hmm. That's what that is. It makes me sick just sitting here thinking about it. So the federal government thinks that if a child is diagnosed with they're diagnosed with Down syndrome, that they should die. They think that's good. They think if a child is of a particular race, that child should die.
Right.
Let's see what that is. That's sick and disgusting. This is the United States federal government. Yes. I'm just letting that sink into myself so that it can sink into other people.
Judge. But they're like we're seeing I think a move where the Supreme Court in their ruling on the Texas HB2 that basically required abortion clinics to have similar standards as ambulatory surgical centers, as well as doctors who perform abortionists had to have admitting privileges in hospitals, I think within a 30-mile radius of an abortion clinic. This isn't rocket science. This isn't, you would expect, in the state of Texas right now, because of the Supreme Court, hairdressers are probably more highly regulated than abortion clinics.
Yeah.
And this whole mantra that you hear from Democrats that that we want abortion to be safe, legal, and rare. Well, we know they don't care about rare. They're pushing for, abortion for any reason at any time, from conception till right minutes before birth or even partial birth,
after birth.
And the whole mantra that we want this to be safe, it's like, well, you obviously don't care about women's safety either, because this is common sense stuff. I read. I wish I could credit the source, but I can't. I don't have it in front of me. 500 Texas women recently were admitted to hospitals because of abortions. This is just common sense, and the Supreme Court threw it out the window.
515-244-0077. That's the number you can call to talk with us on this and give your 2 cents in. Well, this is a bad question to ask a Christian audience. I mean, nobody's going to call in and say yes. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking. I'm not being reasonable. I'm not being logical. I'm 18 years old. Me and my gal, she gets pregnant, and we go in and check with the doctor. Not only is she pregnant, but it's Down syndrome. What's the likelihood at 18 or 19 I've got the moral fortitude to make the decision to care for a baby with Down syndrome for the rest of my life, when all I got to do is go get $400 and drop Sweetie off at the Planned Parenthood dirty baby killing shop, and then pick her up an hour later and we'll go to pizza.
First, not to empathize with their situation. Their choice was made when they decided to engage in sex outside of marriage.
I understand.
That's where they have choice.
I understand. I've always told people I'm pro-choice. Don't have sex unless you want to have a baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Where's that baby's choice? Also, this is where I think things like, before we, until we can get abortion completely banned, outlawed, this is where laws such as waiting periods, ultrasound bills can come into play to help win hearts and minds of people who are considering doing this, where if they could see the ultrasound, if they could take some time and think about it.
So why don't we do this? Let's go back to gun control a minute. What'd you say? There's an 8-day waiting period from the time you try to buy a gun and the time you can pick it up?
I don't know, but there's a waiting period.
So why don't we have a 2-week waiting period on abortion?
You would think that would make sense. You're talking about killing a child. And it's not like, it's not, especially most people who consider that are doing it early in pregnancy. They have time to consider.
That would be an undue burden.
Yeah.
That's the way the federal government is. What you just said, Frankie, that's how the federal government is acting now. Everything is an undue burden.
Yeah.
This should be as easy as possible. And the reason why our country is still thinking about this is because there are still people in the United States who think like this. There was an op-ed written in the Des Moines Register actually this week. Just completely ridiculous.
Written by Rekha Basu?
No, it was not written by Rekha
okay.
Basu. This was an op-ed written, I believe, is actually a Register written op-ed, but I'm not sure. But the fact that they claim here, this was about the Texas bill, because that was an undue burden for abortion clinics to be within a certain vicinity from an actual medical facility. They said at the end of this article, childbirth is 14 times more likely than abortion to result in the death of a woman. And that came directly from another article. Think about how stupid that is for a second. Childbirth is 14 times more likely than abortion to result in the death of a woman. Every abortion is death.
Yeah.
100% of the time.
14% more likely.
But not for the woman.
But not for the it's 50% chance it's a woman anyway.
So
the point here is that's the kind of ignorance that that Des Moines op-ed references another study done.
So are they saying basically, you know what? Let's save women. Let's abort all babies. Is that what they're saying? I mean, the logical conclusion of what that statistic they just pulled up is kind of, we want to keep women safe, so let's keep them all from getting pregnant or
right. But what it shows, I think you're right in that's foolish. But what it shows is that there's still a percentage of people in the United States that don't understand that abortion is killing human beings.
Right.
I think they're either ignorant or choosing to be ignorant, or they're vile and wicked. It's only one of those three options.
515-244-0077. That's the line you'd call to have your voice heard. Or you could text us at 515-809-0993. Very special guest, very smart man, Shane Vanderhart from Caffeinated Thoughts in the house, live here on The Truth.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Hey everybody, I brought Northern Lights Pizza! And it's got Graziano sausage!
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
21 minutes after 4:21 in the afternoon, live here on The Truth on 99.3. The Truth. Brand new radio station in Des Moines, just a year old. I guess 53 weeks old now. Thank God nobody aborted it. Took us a long time to get it down here, and now we're preaching the truth 24/7 on a full power FM signal that covers a lot of the state of Iowa. And all you have to do is just tell us how we're doing. You know, it's kind of like when you go to a restaurant and you eat the cheeseburger and it's no good. Part of you just wants to get up and leave, right? You don't want to have some manager get in your face or some waitress not care, and it's hardly worth it. But a good restaurateur wants to know when his cheeseburgers aren't any good. A good radio station, which this is, wants to know if there's things on the radio that you like and you don't like. You're the listener. You're the most important person in the room. It isn't me that should be deciding what we're talking about. It should be you. What's important to you? What you're passionate about? What are you thinking about? I know you're thinking about Jesus. But how does he think about 2016? How does he think about abortion? What does he think about state laws versus federal laws? You're going to tell me he doesn't think about those things. He doesn't care. I would disagree. I would tell you that Jesus cares a lot about the life of an unborn soul, that he knew his name long, long ago and written in the book of life. And now that little baby, because of a human decision, will not be able to fulfill its plan. Think about the people in your life that are helping you fulfill your plan. What if they weren't here? How would you do? Where would you go? Who would you depend on? 515-244-0077. Hey, don't forget the Passport to Retirement is coming up on Tuesday, July 19th at the Upper Iowa University campus at 5000 Westtown Parkway. If you want to go, it's free. It's a 3-hour, one night, 3-hour session with Weiss Merkel Financial, and they're going to answer a lot of your questions about retirement. They're good friends of ours. They come on the radio and share their wisdom and knowledge, and all I want you to do is take a Thursday and take for 3 hours. Bob, you went to it. Was it worth your 3 or 4 hours?
It was. It was 4 hours for me, and it was definitely worth it.
You learned a lot about Social Security.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Weiss Merkel Financial, 278-4110. Tell them Matt Olson sent you. All right, we want to go to the phones where Stephanie from Urbandale is standing by. Stephanie, how are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Love it when you call. So we're talking about this abortion law.
Yeah, I have a lot to say. Well, I'm going to try to condense it down as much as possible.
Well, now hold on. First, Stephanie, take your time. Don't feel crowded or pushed or like you would need to hurry. I'm not gonna unhook the line. Just take a big, deep breath, big cleansing breath, and just get your brain straight. God, your words through Stephanie's mouth, and just say what the Lord wants you to share.
Well, everybody seems to not even think of the possibility of adoption. I mean, they're talking about ending the lives of children with Down syndrome just because they have, something different about them. And just because, they may not seem healthy, there are so many children that have Down syndrome that are just full of life. And you can learn so much from them if you just stand back and watch these wonderful people. And sometimes they just want to give and love the person next to them, and they don't treat you any differently. And I don't understand why we can do the same for them. Why can't we treat them like equals? And on top of that, I understand that, there are people that get raped, and there's people that, have an unplanned pregnancy. But why can't you be the bigger person and just give birth to the child and adopt. There are so many children that want a home, and then there's so many adults, so many parents that can't have a baby that would love to have a child. And for instance, I had an English teacher. She had to wait 18 months for one baby. 18 months to have one child. And it's like, if we allowed pro-life only, we would have more chances of more families getting not have to wait more than a year to have a baby in their life.
All right,
and,
so Steph,
frankly, it's just like ending a life. I mean, they say it like, I think it's 9 or 10 weeks you get fingerprints, and you get the heartbeat and everything from the first ultrasound. Why would you want to end a life that is showing clearly that it is growing, it is alive? And on top of that, if say you did take contraceptives or used a condom and it didn't work out and you got pregnant anyway, don't you think that maybe there'd be a reason, a miraculous miracle reason why you're having a child? God has a plan for every single person, and it is the choice of man that causes the end of that life.
Stephanie, I'm glad I gave you as much time as I did. You said that very well, and it doesn't make sense to us, does it? We just can't understand how these people can reason away the life of an unborn child. Well, it's easy. Stephanie, can I help you? Because I've been doing this a long time.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's called the accuser. See, Jesus is love, and he had the little children come to him. Satan doesn't care about children. All he wants to do is mess up your life. He wants to make your life miserable to the point where he doesn't even have to pay attention to you. He just knows that if you're willing to have an abortion and you're willing to do some of the things that you're doing, we were talking about voting rights earlier, if you're willing to just, commit terrible felonies, the accuser doesn't have to worry about you. Stephanie, it's people like you and I, and like Shane and Chris and Frank and Bob and Jebediah. That's the ones that the accuser wants to get. He wants to change our mind on abortion. He wants to make it so unacceptable in the United States of America that someone would actually stand up and say no more dead babies. And he wants to shut us down. So, Stephanie, anytime you want to call and you want to get on your high horse for anti-abortion rules, you can come in Mac's World anytime, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Shane, did you want to say something
No,
to
I'll
Stephanie?
just say Stephanie's absolutely right. These couples, these women who find themselves in a circumstance that is difficult, that is an unexpected pregnancy, they can choose life. And she's right. I mean, adoption is a great option, a great choice. It's a choice that, unfortunately, Planned Parenthood does not really push. And unfortunately, there's so much red tape that goes into the adoption process that it's ridiculous, and also cost too. It costs thousands of dollars to adopt a child. So I applaud. There's lots of nonprofit agencies that are raising funds to help parents adopt, as well as adoption tax credits and things like that. Any way we can make it conceivably easier for parents to adopt, I think that will help tremendously.
515-244-0077. That's the line that Paul is on. Paul, you're live in Mac's World. How you doing, Paul?
Not too bad. I got a complete solution to fixing the abortion issue.
All right.
It's not that hard.
All right.
We got to use the wisdom of King Solomon and the division of the baby. So the way you got to work it out is simple. Okay, listen very careful. All you have to do is find the LGBTQ gene, and then using that same law that's against the law, say that we will test you for that gene so you can come in and get an abortion. As soon as you do that, the LGBTQ community will kibosh that law, and then you got all the other laws that have to go along with it. Then they have to reactivate them again.
Okay, we can go home. Paul just solved it. Paul just solved it. Man, you're a rocket scientist. Thank you very much, Paul. 515-244-0077. Service Legends Truth text line 515-809-0993. I want to correct. Oh, man, I don't want to get in trouble here. I've been trying to just take this whole sexual thing and just push it out of my life. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to do it anymore. It's just so evil and benign. Paul, there is no gay gene. Oh, I know. But there just isn't. Okay, we can split an atom and create a nuclear bomb. I can have you take a pill the size of a raindrop, and it knows exactly to what body part, what organ to go to heal you. If there was a gene that would have people feel like they were born in the wrong sexuality circle, we would have found it by now. And more than that, the people who say there's a gay gene would have done what? They would have come out and proved it. There is no proof.
Right.
And I'm not getting down on gay people. I'm not trying to do that. I just wish they'd stop lying to people and say they were born that way. No, you were born with sinful nature. Mine is alcoholism. I talk too loud. I have a character defect of talking too loud all the time. I don't have an inside voice. Okay? I don't like cats. Young babies, when they smell like poop, I just don't want to be around them. I got handed a little girl yesterday. I don't know how old she is. She's not even 1. Here, can you change the diaper? No, I can't. I'm done with that. I have character defects. I have sinful nature. You weren't born that way. You were born busted, like me, like Shane, like Chris. Quit trying to make a big deal out of it and make yourself special. You're not. Just another human being that Jesus loves.
And like me. I want you to speak to the hypocrisy of this. We have something in law called stare decisis.
Who do I?
You're going to have to tell me what that is.
Stare decisis. That is what is settled. Settled law. They always refer to this as pertains to Roe v. Wade.
Okay.
We can't touch Roe v. Wade because of stare decisis. What is settled?
Actually, Roe v. Wade left open the possibility of personhood if personhood could be proven.
Right.
And that's why ultimately, really, I mean, the whole abortion argument boils down to the one question: when does life begin?
But yet I hear Hillary and Bernie Sanders, and not Bernie anymore because he's out. But I hear Hillary out there saying that we can't touch abortion rights. We have to preserve that for women, but we are going to overturn Citizens United.
Right.
Well, now, wait a minute. Citizens United was a settled law, but
it's a newer settled law.
Yeah.
See, it's a settled law I don't agree with.
Right.
And frankly, it's not law. It's a court decision anyway. Let's Constitution 101. Courts don't make law. Legislatures do, and governors sign and enforce the laws. So well, just going back to the Supreme Court. Abortion rights, we're gonna bend over backwards to get to the ruling that we want. We're gonna remove the goalposts that we originally established in KCV Planned Parenthood and make it harder for states to circumvent this whole undue burden rule that we've suddenly applied to just abortion cases. But First Amendment, this Christian pharmacist doesn't want to give out emergency contraceptives, even though there are 30 pharmacies within 5 minutes of their location that would gladly do it.
So
we're not going to hear that case.
So you put
That's
an
not
undue
important.
burden on a cake baker that has to bake a cake for a gay wedding? I mean,
I would think
we cherry pick our undue burdens, right?
Right. And the Supreme Court has made it very apparent that this is their preferred right, and all the other rights, well, tough.
All right. 515-244-0077. You have a text?
I do.
Okay, read it quick.
Hey, my brothers in Christ, it is my opinion that if you are capable enough to perform an act of sex, you should be capable enough to take responsibility for what you have done. When it comes to rape, I'm in the air on that issue. Adoption would be a better option. I'm 40 years old now, but my mother got pregnant with me when she was 19. She could have had an abortion, but she chose to keep me and get a good job, and she's still at that job today. There are other options.
All right, we're coming back and we're changing subject because this just makes me boil. Shane Vanderhart is here, Decaffeinated Thoughts, and you're listening. Thanks.
Today I am.
What?
Northern Lights Pizza's amazing garlic butter makes amazing breadsticks. Now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza.
I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Homs,
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fix them problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
All right, 22 minutes before the top of the hour, 30th day of June in the Lord's year 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy, Shane Vanderhart here with caffeinated thoughts. I apologize.
Well, Chris made sure I was decaffeinated today.
Yeah.
If you go to my Twitter at Shane Vanderhart, shameless plug here, you can see a picture of the coffee that Chris left for me.
Oh, it's just terrible. Yesterday, I had to be up. Now, this is going to sound real funny, except for people that know me. I had to be up until like 8 o'clock last night. No, I had to be out until about 8 o'clock last night.
Okay.
Out. And
I feel so sorry for you.
So I had a cup of coffee. And because I had to be awake and alert, et cetera, et cetera. I usually go to bed around 9:15. I wait for the 9 o'clock news on Fox, find out what the local headlines are, and then I go to bed. And then I get up somewhere around 4:30, something like that, and do a lot of my work in the morning. Man. No, I love it. I'd much rather do that. But so he made me this cup of coffee yesterday, and it was literally, remember in the old days when Grandma would give you a spoon of something because it was a medicine that would help you feel better, and you'd put your nose.
Castor oil.
Yeah, you take your fingers and you put it on your nose because when you put the thumb in the mouth, you wouldn't taste it.
Right.
That's what I had to do to that coffee yesterday. It was that bad. I don't know how a man, an intelligent man who knows more about board games than anybody, including Milton Berle. No, not Milton Berle. What's the name of the Milton?
I was going to say Friedman.
Milton
That's
Bradley.
not right either.
Milton Bradley.
Knows more about board games than Milton Bradley. Knows more about radio than Marconi himself, but he can't make a single good cup of coffee. You will make someone a horrible wife one day. Horrible wife one day. All right, Shane, get to your report there, and let's look at the next story that you brought to share with us today. Because I was
supposed to have a plan B.
Oh, you thought we were going to talk about that the whole hour?
Oh, well, yeah, I wasn't sure. So, anyway.
Just give us some of the big news stories that are coming off the Christian websites today.
Oh, gosh. Hold on. Well, let me get to
All right. Bob, do you have any texts you want to share with us from the last subject? No?
The last subject?
Yeah, he had one.
I do.
Okay.
Okay, it says, we pro-choice clergy are not ignorant or wicked. We believe that a fetus has potential and becomes a human being when God breathes life into him or her. Genesis 2:7. Adoption is a fine choice, but it should be left to parents and their doctor.
Okay, this is a pro-choice clergy member?
It says,
Be nice.
It says
Be
we
nice.
pro-choice
Psalm
being nice.
139. Read Psalm 139.
I'm just trying to understand when. So oxygen is what's required for the breath of God. Is probably his logic, right?
Well, God breathes life into him or her.
Okay, the child doesn't have life until it breathes oxygen. Just
Psalm
making
what?
sure.
Psalm what?
Psalm 139.
Okay.
Before I, formed you in your mother's womb. God's hand was he's the one that intricately put that baby together. He was involved in the process. So when did God breathe life into that baby? At conception.
That's what I think. I mean, I don't know.
I think the Bible's pretty clear.
Even if the fetus only had potential, why do we want to take the potential of someone away?
Isn't it getting oxygen off the mother and the umbilical cord? I mean, if it was devoid of oxygen, it would be brain dead.
It's oxygenated blood.
Oxygenated blood as well as its nutrients.
So
yes.
When does God breathe life into something? I mean, that's the claim he's looking for. Just find the answer to that question. When is it? Where is it?
I would just like to know where that's in the Bible.
So they're saying you don't live until the doctor swats you on the butt and they suck that mucus out your nose and your mouth, and you gulp that first breath of life. Well, that's when life begins.
That sucking the mucus out of the nose, that's key because God cannot breathe in that baby until that's done.
I'm just trying to understand. I just want to learn. I just want to be smart. I just want to grow in my knowledge and understanding. That's all.
And Psalm 139 also says God knew us before he knew our thoughts before any of us even came to be. So he's known us since literally he's always known us. If you could just wrap your mind around that. So to say that baby's not life until God breathes life into whenever that is, that just doesn't make any sense when Scripture is clear that God is involved in the process of creation, not just macro creation when he created the world, but babies as well, any life.
515-244-0077. That's the number you can call. We had Stephanie once before. She's really intelligent and smart and bright and passionate and excited, and I told her to calm down and she could call anytime. Hi, Stephanie. You're back live here in Max World. How you doing?
I'm still doing all right.
All right, good.
I thought of another thing when I heard the question, when does life start? And I remember because eventually me and my husband plan on trying for children sometime later in the year, unless God intervenes and wants it sooner. Anyway, but basically, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, so basically, I got to thinking, even though I know the basics of fertilization, I wanted to know what exactly everything, like how big a chance do you have getting pregnant? And it's like, if you just simply watch a video about fertilization on YouTube, they use the term incredible odds for one sperm to make it to the egg to get fertilized. And then once the sperm makes it to the egg, immediately they come together and get, their 23 chromosomes from both parents, and then your characteristics start being created, like what hair color you're going to have, what eye color you're going to have. You start getting formed even before the mother even knows that they're pregnant. So I'm sorry, but right at conception, that tells me right there that's when life begins, because it's already deciding what hair color, what eye color you're going to have.
But Stephanie, that would mean we'd look at science. And we can't look at science. We can't show a mother of an unborn child. We cannot show a picture of her unborn child in an abortion clinic. Now, you talk about the guy who...
I just want to clarify for Stephanie, Mac is being sarcastic and frustrated with that law.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
I'm just making sure.
Right back.
I mean, this is the one subject that I just go crazy over because it's just say it. You're evil. You're selfish. You had sex. You just wanted to have fun for 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 4 if you're younger. And now, oops, I should have had a V8. And now you're gonna kill a baby. You're going to kill a baby.
Well, and it's really sad to see people that advocate for that. Look, I understand that people make choices in their life that they maybe regret in the future, but it's incredible to see people advocate for a person's opportunity to end the life. And as our pro-choice clergy member here texted in, the potential for life. Even if you think it's just the potential for life, that person is advocating for the ending of the potential for life. Does that even make sense to anyone? That doesn't make sense. I don't agree with that. I think it's more than just the potential for life. But why are we happy with advocating for the death of the potential for life?
Not only that, we celebrate it.
Right. We've got people now who wear T-shirts that are proud of it.
Celebrate it.
What?
Woman's right to choose.
Yeah, proud. I had an abortion T-shirts that are proud of it. You think that's funny? Do you know the pro-abortion folks? Actually, this was last year for Christmas or 2 years ago for Christmas. You could buy coat hangers that you could hang on your Christmas tree as an ornament in celebration of abortion. Coat hangers, folks. That's sick and disgusting.
Simply evil. And Democrats actually want to double down on this. They are actually in their platform trying to put language in there that would end the Hyde Amendment. So not only do they want abortion widely available, not only do they not care if it's safe, it's already legal, but they also want us to pay for it.
Don't you know we would all be SOL if Mary had chose wrong?
How do we know another prophet hasn't been extinguished? Well, of course, we know that. We know that. God. Remember, God's greater than any of this. So I kind of said something stupid the other day, because if this incredible scientist or musician or whatever was supposed to be born and grace the earth and it was aborted, God just makes another one, right?
Well, there are real consequences to our actions, though.
All right. 515-244-0077. Stephanie's my new favorite caller of the day. Shane's here, Chris is here, Frank's here, Bob's here, Jebediah's here, and you're here. Thanks for listening to The Truth.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
Northern Lights Pizza, your home of the tasty crust. Our garlic butter sauce now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcastonelive.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common, everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
All right, good afternoon. 10 minutes before the top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News. And then, of course, Hank, the Bible Answer Man at 1-888-ASK Hank. Call in now. It's a worldwide national show. Probably 14, 16 calls an hour. That's about all he can fit in. So get on that line and get in there and get yourself excited about a question to ask Hank, the Bible Answer Man. Even if you don't always agree with Hank, Hank's always got good answers. And I don't know much better than not agree with Hank. So I enjoy listening to Hank.
I actually agreed with Hank a couple of times yesterday. He was spot on. I don't even
Did
know
you
what
call
it
and
was.
tell him?
No, I didn't, but I actually...
Well, you should send him an email. Hank, Frankie here. Yeah, the verse over in Desmonez. Yeah, baby, you were right a couple times yesterday. Fist bump. And then see, the next day, Hank would come on and he'd say, and I'd like to thank Frank in Des Moines for the fist bump because he said and recognized that I was right yesterday. Hank Hanagram.
I wrote an article about that on CRI.
Yeah, I wrote an article about that. There you go.
I'm sorry. I love Hank. Listen to Hank for a long time.
No one ever needed a revival more than the United States of America in 2016. That's why I am encouraging you to attend this year's Family Leadership Summit 2016. It's all happening Saturday, the 9th of July. Here in Des Moines, the event will feature Ann Graham Lotz, War Room actor T.C. Stallings, biblical worldview expert Dr. Del Tackett, and more. TheFamilyLeader.com. I just was thinking I wish I could be there. I love Del Tackett, but I can't. So,
and Greg Baker from The Family Leader is going to be our guest tomorrow. And
How
we're
did
gonna
you know that?
You told me that.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And also, I've got really exciting news for folks. Listen in tomorrow if you want to go to the Family Leadership Summit and you haven't got tickets yet.
What are you going to be selling them cheap?
Oh, it'll be real cheap. Tomorrow from 3 to 5, they'll be really cheap.
He'll be hawking them at the street corner.
Yeah, what I'm going to do...
I
See, what I did is I hacked into thefamilyleader.com.
Oh, no,
and I
quit
got
it.
no,
Quit it.
I'm
No, you
joking.
didn't.
I'm sorry, I
Don't
did.
say that.
No, in all seriousness, the Family Leader is so...
We have a hard enough time playing off as a Christian radio show. Now you're stealing.
The Family Leader is so in love with 99.3 that they wanted to offer a lot of tickets to our listeners. So we are going to be giving a nice marathon giveaway tomorrow from 3 to 5. So if you haven't gotten tickets yet, tune in tomorrow and we'll make sure you can go.
And it's Friday. I may take the day off again, so you'll have the Family Leader and all those tickets, and you'll just have a wonderful time. Because I listened to last week's show when I was gone. That McRib thing, man, you guys are pasting that for all you got.
That must have been after I left. I don't remember
We didn't
that.
touch the McRib once.
Oh, maybe that was a week before.
You just keep... No, we didn't even... that was like months ago that I
think
talked about
No, it wasn't. Bob, do you have another text from
I
the Service
do.
Legends Truth text line?
I do.
And then I want to say something. I'm going to step out on a limb, and I want to say something to the... What did he say? He was clergy?
Pro-choice.
It was pro-choice. Yeah, okay.
Okay, this is not the same person. Different person here. Even when a fetus is a single fertilized cell, the fetus already has its own life principle and its own genetic makeup. This tiny clump of cells is a uniquely distinct individual who, with only the addition of time and nutrition, will develop into a mature human being.
Do you know what fetus is actually Latin for? A lot of people may not realize this. Little one.
Little one. Really?
So I don't hate the term fetus so much when you understand it in that context.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's used to dehumanize children in the womb, but it really means little one.
515-809-0993. That's the number you can text your thoughts to. Now, I want to say something to the clergy, pro-choice clergy. You are always welcome in Mac's World. I want you. We disagreed with you a little bit today. Maybe we were even a little bit pompous. I take responsibility for that. This is my show. The opinions on this show are mine. I want you to know that you are welcome. Your opposite opinion or your different opinion from us, you are welcome, and I want to hear that voice. I don't want anybody to ever think for 1 minute that the only voice I want to hear on this radio station is voices I agree with. Two people always agree. One of us isn't necessary, and that would probably end up being me. So I want your opinions. You were nice on the text. I'm sorry that Frank and some of the other people in this room were a little bit rude to you, but they weren't rude in my name. They were rude in their name, so I apologize. Chris.
Yeah, no, I just think that the clergy member wants to kill people, and I just think that
I just said I was sorry.
I just think that seems a little. I don't know. It seems a little bad.
Of Chris Roloff are not that of Max World, KTIA, Shane Vanderhart, or Bob Montserrat. Maybe the opinion of Frank.
I would love for him to explain, him or her to explain to me why that's not murder, and I'd love to find out.
It's becoming really hard to have actually a civil discussion on this when we come, our worldviews are totally not aligned typically, and we can't even agree on terms and premises. So, I don't know what kind of agreement we could actually, what kind of conversation we could actually have about this.
Yeah, I mean, if there's
how do you? Seriously.
Yeah, it's.
I've got the Bible. Oh, and I've got science. Oh, and I've got reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I've got the Constitution.
Absolutely.
And yet still, we're the weirdos. We're the haters. Because we're just trying to save a child's life.
I find most people who have a pro-abortion mindset, typically they don't have a rational argument. It's more emoting than anything else.
It was Hank or Dr. Brown today or yesterday that was saying something about if you go outside and it's snowing and there's flakes falling from the sky, we can't even agree that it's snowing outside. That's how basic this abortion issue is in the views that we're taking. It's like you say, we can't agree on the terminology. We can't agree on what life is. We can't agree that it's snowing.
Yeah. And ultimately, really, the privacy argument, the convenience argument, any argument that a pro-choice or pro-abortion person wants to make, it's irrelevant because the only question that matters is when does life begin. If life begins at conception, like I believe it does, there's nothing they can say that would make it morally justifiable. If it doesn't begin at conception, then I'm totally wrong.
Well, but it does. I mean,
it does.
Congratulations, you're pregnant. You're going to have a baby. Congratulations, you're going to have a baby. You're going to have a baby. You're going to have a baby. Pregnancy never ends in anything other than going to have a baby.
Right.
Oh, just. But I want to end the program on this note. All right, now listen very carefully, please. Hear my heart on this. If for whatever reason you found yourself sometime in your life either causing a pregnancy or part of the reason someone's pregnant or being pregnant, and you chose to have an abortion, God forgives you. He already has. He loves you. That is not an unforgivable sin. What is unforgivable is for you not to forgive yourself. Jesus handed you his blood and said, that's all I got. You are forgiven. So I'm sorry if you heard some rough language today aimed at people who get abortions. Forget us. We're just a bunch of stinky middle-aged men. Jesus loves you, and he has forgiven you, and that soul of that child waits to hold its mommy or daddy when the kingdom comes. Tell you what, whatever resentment you're carrying tonight, forgive, because as you forgive, you will be forgiven. I love you. Have a great night.